Rex Hausmann here, the artist statement. Today, we're going to look at a slice of the San Antonio art community in the place I like to call home. We're going to go walk tracks with a graffiti artist, go to the studio of a very well-known sculptor. We're going to talk with two emerging artists that are close friends, and interview an artist who I respect very much, Gary Sweeney. You know, life really is delicious when it's full of wonderful people, just like this pie that I'm enjoying today. So I hope you enjoy the segment and get to see a little bit of the everyday life of community within San Antonio. Hey everybody, Rex Hausmann here at the Hausmann Millworks, 925 West Russell. I've got Trevor here, who's been rotating our murals for about, what, 5 years?
Yeah, well, I've been just rotating them since high school, just trying to keep the spirit of San Antonio, I guess, through all of it, because I'm one of the younger artists, but most of the people I used to look up to used to paint big murals, graffiti murals around town, and I just kind of stuck with that.
Let's go ahead and walk around and see what Trevor's been up to and kind of who's on the wall right now. Of course, a train is coming by while we're on film, but we're going to do what we can before the train gets here. Trevor, tell us why trains are so important.
Because they go everywhere. It's how you know where the artists are from.
So this is almost like a walking billboard, right?
Yeah.
So Trevor, what did you just see, basically?
Saw a few artists from Mexico, Chicago, some from California. It's basically like the way to network or get around. Like, people will see your art wherever you go. Like, we're from San Antonio. If we painted a train, somebody could see it in California. So that's pretty much the best way to get around, is painting a train.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Trevor, talk to us about the murals here.
Well, right now we're going over previous people who just came in and tagged everything, but this guy's from Chicago. Everybody here is basically from San Antonio except this guy. Buff over everything, clean it all up, and then kind of tie it all together.
Love it, dude. Love it. And now Trevor's going to take us a walkthrough, and we're just going to walk the two walls. So he's going to tell us a little bit about how the murals came about, what's up now, and what he plans on doing in the future. So Trevor, take it away, man.
All right. Well, like this part right here, we're just doing a real cleanup. Like, he's going to finish his piece. We've got a Justin French character that we're going to work on too. And then my piece covers two sides of the wall, and I'll finish that up too, going over somebody that I don't even know. Like, exhaust piece, and then Stu's piece is going to be there. And then all we're really going to do is just buff all around it, kind of unify it, do some loose illustrations to tie it off. Most of the future projects I have are going to be more detailed, more in depth on full on illustrations throughout here. We're going to have characters, pieces, and then what I keep calling illustrations are background stuff, you know, more graphic design style work on the walls. It's new approach to everything I've been trying to do.
Okay. And, well, dude, thanks for taking us through the walls, man.
For sure.
Trevor, do you approve of this message?
I approve.
So, this is Rex Hausmann. I'm driving with my iPhone pointing up for a moment of awesome. I am going to roll my windows down and show a balloon in the background doing a dance, which is awesome. So get ready for your moment of awesome. Here it goes. And there we go. Party time, baby. That is your moment of awesome. My name's Rex Hausmann, here with the great Marilyn Lanfear in San Antonio, Texas. And we're about to go into her studio in her house. We're gonna go see something really cool. Very cool.
Here's something I could take.
So this will be at the Millworks right here.
Right. And then this could be at the Millworks. And I'm Marilyn Lanfear.
And we're at Marilyn's
My
home.
studio. Home, yeah.
So Marilyn, tell us a little bit about these pieces here.
This is made with handmade paper. And so I think that's called, what is it called? I've forgotten what it's called. But that's part of my series, The Woman Shapes the House. You see, it's not a rectangle.
Very
It's
nice.
shaped by the inside.
So can you talk a little bit about scale? I mean, you're so tall, Marilyn, and your pieces are so small. I mean, it's just such a statement, you know?
I'm really, someone said I was a tall blonde in disguise, but in excellent disguise.
I love it. Just the size of your works and the volume of them is just unreal.
And now this is the bride who, this pedestal should be under the bride, but a bride should be above the pedestal, so the pedestal comes about this high.
Woohoo! All right. All right, this is Juan, Paul, and Suhail, and Rachel is somewhere running around. We're about to attack this painting like crazy with pizza. Rachel is in the room, although not present.
And Katie will be here.
And Katie is here in spirit.
Well, she'll be here in a few minutes.
So Paul, what are you thinking, man?
What I'm thinking is we should get going.
I love it. Suhail,
Join us when you get.
with a mop, oh, enough said, and I'm panning down
Now you're scared.
to avoid Rachel. Juan, what do you think?
Dig in.
Excellent. So we're here at the Millworks, painting this thing with pizza, and Rachel has not been on the camera yet, but there it was. She's here, so you heard her voice. Peace out. Rex Hausmann here at Asel Art Supply, the best art store in San Antonio. David Almaguer, Jimmy James Canales, two of San Antonio's finest, awesome artists, performance and aerosol. Guys, newsprints on sale.
Newsprint is on sale.
How's life?
It's good.
Almaguer, thoughts on life in an art store?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Nothing.
Like working at a comic book shop.
Jimmy?
It's a bit of a think tank. It's a place of knowledge and learned men and women. But mostly, it's a...
I think you said enough right there.
it's unexplainable.
The art store is like the in-between place. It's as neutral as it's going to get in the art world.
It's like working at a comic book shop, man. It's like you're not good.
Truly, everything is absolutely neutral here.
Right.
Nothing's been done yet. So it's almost like a museum.
But it's been just like a museum created by the manager and or the kind of owner, right? So you can only work with the materials that are here if it is what you said that it is.
True.
So It's a bit of a false utopia.
I like that.
Yeah. There's nothing raw in here. This is all made for you to buy.
The consumer.
Yeah.
I love it. But how is that any different than a gallery?
Yeah. There's the potential for the end product being art.
Well, I think,
It's already going to be there.
and the main difference is the great music selection that we have here at Asel Art Supply.
Absolutely.
And it usually revolves around 3 words. Kono 1010. 101010.
This is awesome.
Vortex speed make you ape shit. Cruise through the galaxy and so you fake it. The speed of light and thought, you know I'll break it. And I'll take it to the next level like a jihad. I'm tight like a peace pod, cash in a thick wad, drinking on a Cape Cod, music banging head nod, future's looking kinda odd, this is how I gotta rock. Now I'm in the death so I got a knick-knack for a nice rack. Call it up on my magic jack while all hands clap to this clean rap. I'll stay strapped and I'll stay strapped like a backpack. Acapella voice, double track, breath bad, need a tic-tac, gum disease, lot of plaque, looking for a tasty snack, midnight, Big Mac, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, sequestration cut back, filibust like a governmental speech act. I got racks on racks, beta blocker, heart attack, head spinning, jumping jack, jersey is a throwback, hack a shack, kinda whack, rubber ducky goes quack, with a 5-finger say to the face, smack.
Here we are at the Hausmann Millworks with Joey Scott, the star of Tiny Tank. Joey, in from Oklahoma, what do you think, man?
I think it's a good representation of the moment caught in time, I guess, is the way to put it.
I love it, man. So, in actually shooting this cannon from Oklahoma, what do you think of seeing it in a tiny form?
I think it's pretty interesting because it's technically not a tank, it's a self-propelled howitzer, and its range is over 30 kilometers, and seeing it in tiny form, thinking of the scaled down version of it, it'd still be able to shoot across the entire millworks.
So, there you have it, straight from Joey, Tiny Tank. Joey, thanks, man.
It's been real.
Love it.
I think my artwork is strictly based in West Coast tradition of humor, language, irony, things like that. I can't get away from it. I'll always be a California boy. When they built the Denver airport, they had a bunch of public art opportunities, and I was a finalist with about 3 or 4 other people. One of them was Barbara Kruger, and my work had dealt with family vacations and travel, humor. So I basically, during my interview, I just basically totally oversold myself. I said, look, I'm perfect for this. It was my first large commission. It really was a turning point. A lot of things happened as a result of it. Fascinating. But dogs, I just absolutely, any dog, I mean, we'll be walking down the street, any dog, I'll just come and wrestle with them. And I don't know what it is about them. They're just unbelievable. They're just pure joy to me. I had a show in India last February. The first thing this woman said before we get in hunt, she says, "You can't touch any dogs." And Janet just looked over at me and she goes, "Did you hear that?" And because I can't resist touching dogs.
So you're just like dejected,
yeah,
like,
I said,
no!
What? She says, "Do not touch any dogs in India." I go, wow, that's going to be tough. Brooklyn Museum, at the Bronx Museum last year on West Coast art from the 70s, and it was a trip down memory lane. It was all my professors. It was all my people that I admired. I really liked Terry Allen too. The first time I saw him, he was teaching in Fresno, and still to this day I have a couple of his pieces.
Has the work that you first enjoyed stuck with you, or with age has your taste changed?
Well, that's a very good question, and it's a little bit of each, because, for instance, the first time I saw Dennis Oppenheim's stuff, I was I was hooked. I just loved it. I loved everything about it. And I continued that affection throughout his whole career. And I always loved his work. It's like everything in your life. I think these all represent something special to me, or else I wouldn't have bought them. But I started collecting when I was a student. It was an unequal exchange of, I was a student and she was working. So birthdays and anniversaries, I gave her a William Wegman photograph and I bought for $150 when I was a student. I had a Jim Dine lithograph, a silkscreen that says "To Gary" from Andy Warhol. And
Wow.
He signed it in front of me, for me. And I would give anything. I would give anything to have that back right now. And I think it just got lost to the ages. I think you should totally immerse yourself in the art scene wherever you live. You should go to every gallery, every opening. You should schmooze with other artists because you learn so much. I learned more from the people I hung around with in college than I did even from my professors. And my professors were the best artists around. So you have to engage in dialogues with your peers. You have to read everything you can get your hands on. Although I don't do that anymore. I'm hopelessly out of the loop when it comes to artists and current art trends and stuff like that. But that's because it's very exhausting doing that.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job. But if you're going to be an art student, that's part of your obligations. You should know, as obnoxious as I think it is, you have to know the current art terms and what's going on, and then filter it all out and decide for yourself what you can use and what you can't use. And you need to dedicate yourself a life of art and art appreciation.
Today, we walked with Trevor on the tracks and looked at some graffiti murals. We visited Marilyn Lanfear on River Road in San Antonio. We visited Jimmy James Canales and David Almaguer at the Art Story. And we sat down for a really interesting interview with Gary Sweeney. You just saw a little bit of the San Antonio pie we call the art community. We met Joey at the Hausmann Millworks and saw Tiny Tank, which was produced at the San Antonio Museum of Art and painted with Rachel, Katie, Paul, Suhail, and Juan for Inspired Painting Night. Coming up is the 3D printing adventure with my brother at the University of Texas at Austin, where we try to print on a 3D printer a print plate for the McNay Museum of Art. And something random is happening off to my left with a little slipper guy, which is great. That's your moment of awesome. Thank you so much for visiting. Get ready for the next episode of Artist Statement, and have an awesome, awesome day.
It's a ball inside of a ball, inside of a ball made up of hexagons. Very strong, 3D printed. Awesome.